Today we're learning about Aztec religion, and specifically the gods. As you watch the video, consider the question, how did religious beliefs affect the worldview of the Aztecs? Before we begin learning about Aztec religion, I want you to pause for a moment and think seriously about the following question. What role does religion play in my life? First of all, do you have a religion? If you do, does it affect what you do? Does it affect what you wear? Does it affect how you think? And does it affect what you value? If you don't have a religion, think about what affects what you do, wear, think, and value. Many civilizations in the past had strong religious systems that governed every aspect of their lives. From Myanmar to India to England and Turkey, the buildings of grand temples such as the ones you see here can tell you a lot about just how important religion is all over the world. This was also the case for the Aztecs. Religion was one of the most, if not the most important factor that contributed to shaping their worldview. For the Aztecs, they believed that there were many gods that controlled every aspect of their lives and the world that they lived in. Not all gods were equal in strength and power, therefore the Aztecs worshipped each god differently. The most important god that the Aztecs worshipped was Huitzilopochtli. He was the one who asked the Aztecs to leave their homeland of Aztlan and move south to the Valley of Mexico. Huitzilopochtli was also referred to as the sun god and represented war and conquest. The Aztecs believed that Huitzilopochtli needed blood in order to have strength to overcome the darkness of the night, so human sacrifice became an important religious practice. According to Aztec myths, the world was in complete darkness for 52 years after the destruction of the Fourth Era. The only way to end the darkness and create a new era was for one of the gods to sacrifice themselves to create the fifth sun and start the new era. One of the gods volunteered as a sacrifice and threw himself into the fire. The sun began to rise, but it swayed side to side, signaling its instability. The other gods decided to sacrifice themselves to the sun, and the god of wind, Quetzalcoatl, blew at the sun, making it move from east to west. Since the mighty gods had sacrificed themselves for the sun, humans were indebted to them and needed to feed human blood for the sun god to stay alive. In addition to the sun god Huitzilopochtli, Tezcatlipoca was another powerful god. He was called the Lord of the Night Sky, and he was in an eternal struggle with Huitzilopochtli. Tezcatlipoca meant smoking mirror because he used a black mirror to look into the future. Another powerful god was Quetzalcoatl, the god of wind. His name means feathered serpent, and he was offered flowers, incense, and birds by Aztec priests. After sailing east on a raft of snakeskins after a fight with Tezcatlipoca, Quetzalcoatl was prophesied to return from the east and destroy the Aztec Empire. Finally, Tlaloc, the god of rain, was a god that the Aztecs worshipped and feared as he controlled their survival. Tlaloc had the power to unleash floods and destroy their city or withhold rain, causing drought and famine. Now that you know a little bit more about the Aztec gods, consider how we can learn about the Aztec values and Aztec culture from the gods that they worshipped. Finally, think back to the initial question. How does religion shape worldview?